All right, this is question 145 on page 27. And it asks to write it as a product of its length and width, and then adding up all of the different parts. So the sum, the area is a sum. Sum means to add, and that just means I'm going to add up all the different rectangles. So if I add up all of the x squareds, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6x squared. And then I'm going to add up all of the x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to add 13 x's and then add up all the ones, and there's 6 ones. So this is the area of that rectangle as a sum of its parts, right? And it wants me to set that equal to the product of its sides. So first I have to figure out how long the sides are. So this side is 2x squareds and then 3 x's. So you can write that as 2x squareds plus 3 x's. And then the side from here, the longer side, it looks like, is 2 1's and 3 x's. So that's going to be 3 x's plus 2 1's. So if we say that's the length, 2 1's is just 2. If we say that's the length, then we have the length, which is 3x plus 2. Oh no, I made a mistake. Do you guys see where I made the mistake? Oh, no, I didn't make a mistake. Nope, I made a mistake. Okay, all right, I hope you guys recognized my mistake here before I did. Instead of 3x right here, it's just 3, okay? Because this side of the x, this is only 1 on this side, and it's x on this side. Do you guys see that? Okay. So the other side, I didn't make a mistake on, but if we do length times width, it's 3x plus 2, that's my length, times, as a product of its sides, times 2x squared plus 3. So the area as a sum, 6x squared plus 13x plus 6, equal to the area as a product of its sides. Question 166, determine the total area of each rectangle below. Remember that each number inside the rectangle represents the area of that smaller rectangle, while each number along the side represents the length of that portion of the side. All right, so we know that 8 times some number is going to give us 40. And we know that that number is 5. Okay? Now we know that 5 times some number is going to give us 100. And we know that that number is 20. Now that we have all the sides, we can fill in our square. We know 10 times 8 is 80. And 20 times 10 is 200. So the total area of that square is, I don't know what I did with all my colors. The total of that square is 40 plus 100 plus 200 plus 80, which is, let's see, 380 plus 40, 420. Units squared. Okay. And let's look at box B. I know that I need to figure out what times 4 is 12, and I need to figure out what times 12 is 24. Those are probably the easiest things to do first. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 2 is 24. Now I have 12 times 3 is 36, and 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 plus 24 plus 12, well, let's do this. 12 plus 8 is 20, plus 24 is 44, plus 36, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 80. So the area of the second one is 80 units squared. All right, you guys, question 162. If you're looking online and then you click on the tool, it'll open it up so you can use this tool. Click the circle next to each part to view the new triangle ABC. Okay? Part 1, rotate triangle ABC 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. Name the new coordinate C. Okay? So if you rotate this counterclockwise, I'm not sure if I can actually rotate it here. But if you rotate it counterclockwise, was it 90 degrees? 90 degrees counterclockwise, we're going from here, oops, it's not right, stop. From this triangle to this triangle, like rotating it that way, about the origin right here. Okay? Part B, reflect the triangle across the vertical line x equals 1. So x equals 1 is right here. Oops. How do I make that smaller? X equals 1 is right here. And if we reflect it, it's going to be over here somewhere. Okay? That red line is x equals 1. And part C, reflect triangle ABC so that the new point is at 4, -5. Okay, so we should have already done that one before. How do I get out of here? All right, you guys, 176 says, read the following statements, then decide if, when combined, they present a convincing argument. You may need to refer back to your Polygon graphic organizer as you consider the following statements and decide if the conclusion is correct. Be sure to justify your reasoning. So fact 1 says a square has 4 sides of equal length. Fact 2 says a square is a rectangle because it has 4 right angles. And fact 3 says a rhombus also has 4 sides of equal length. So your conclusion is a rhombus is a rectangle. Well, we know that's not right, but we do know, and this will help you on the test, we do know that a square is a rectangle, okay? A square is a rectangle. It's just that all the sides are the same length. But a rhombus is not a rectangle because it does not have a 90-degree angle, okay? And that's the other part that makes a rectangle. Let's go back to, or let's go to the next question. Okay, so this question 177 wants us to write an equation and solve for x. So let's go ahead and do that. This first one's going to use the vertical angle theorem because this angle and this angle should be the same. If they're the same, they are equal, and I can write 3x plus 5, 3x plus 5 equals 5x minus 57. And the first thing I'm going to do is How about add 57 to both sides? So 3x plus 62 equals 5x. Then subtract 3x from both sides, so I get 62 equals 2x. Then divide both sides by 2, and I get 31 equals x. Okay? So I've solved for x. I have not solved for the angle. To solve for the angle, I would have to put that back in. Angle measure 3x plus 5. Instead of 3 times x, it's going to be 3 times 31 plus 5, which is going to be 93 plus 5, which is going to be 98. If I am correct, the other angle, which is 5 times x, but instead of x, I'm going to do 31 plus, minus 57. Okay, minus, should also be 98 degrees. So 5 times 31 is going to be 155. Minus 57 is 98. So we know we're correct because vertical angle theorem says that those two angles are going to be the same. Okay, let's see. Let's do the other one. I wonder why it doesn't erase very well. The other one, I'm going to use the supplementary angle theorem, which means that two angles are going to add up to be 180 degrees. Because as you can see, this angle and this angle are on this straight line here, which is 180 degrees. So 4x plus 150 plus 2x is equal to 180. So I'm going to combine like terms. So I have 6x plus 150 equals 180. Subtract 150 from each side. 6x equals 30. So x equals 5. So I've solved for x. I have not actually solved for either of those angles, but we can do that right now. If we know that this angle is 2 times x, and I know that x is 5, then this angle is 10 degrees. And if this angle is 10 degrees, to get to 180, this angle must be 170 degrees.